Isn't this fascinating? A Michigan couple said that literally the police asked for a bribe, okay? Let's put up the picture of the young lady. This is quite interesting. Michigan couple says their town seized a building they owned and then demanded they buy 2 cars for the police department to get their own property back. This happened in December of 2020 when the mayor of Highland Park and the police chief dropped by a 13,000 square foot building owned by Justina and Matt Cosbiel for an impromptu fire code inspection, all right? That's Justina. This is going to have some twists and turns here. Let's keep a picture up. The city officials found a marijuana grow operation inside. They are immigrants from Poland, say they had a state license to grow medical marijuana, but the city seized the building anyway and held on to it for 17 months without charging them with the crime. Let's put up the vehicle list message, okay? Mr. Ford, this is what it says. Mr. Ford asked me to reach out to you and send you a copy of 2 vehicle quotes from the Ford company. Vehicle 1, stock number $34,295. Vehicle 2, stock number, and then the price $32,295 as well. I attempted to send this to your email last week, but it was rejected. Also, I wanted to advise you that to date, we still have not received the requested information regarding the trailer that was taken from 14015 Hamilton. Without that information, I cannot list that vehicle as stolen. If you could have the registered owner contact me, I can file the report for them. This is from a lieutenant, all right? Wayne County, where Highland Park is located, has an aggressive asset forfeiture program, all right? Particularly for cars. It seized more than 2,600 vehicles between 2017 and 2019, raking in more than $1.2 million in asset forfeiture revenues, according to public records. Of those, 473 were not accompanied by a criminal conviction at all. And 438 of those cases, no one was ever charged with a crime at all. In 10 cases, the cars were seized under suspicion of a drug violation, even though records say police found no drugs whatsoever. All right, so this couple is speaking out. Now, you gotta keep in mind, this is not the first time this has happened with this police department. This is definitely a 1-2 combination. And in this 1-2 combination, you have a few individuals involved. Let's put up Mayor Herbert Yop and former Sheriff Kevin Coney. Okay, there you have it. That's them. They are the persons who were in charge of this ring. All right, how is this legal? Under civil asset forfeiture laws, police can legally seize property, cash, cars, and even houses suspected of being connected to criminal activity like drug trafficking, whether or not the owner has been charged with a crime. But not only were the Cosbiels never charged with a crime, police never alleged there was any major criminal activity. In a response to an interrogatory filed by the family subsequent to the lawsuit against Highland Park, a city police officer answered none when asked to identify any predicate felony offenses justifying the seizure. Things then took a highly unusual turn when the couple said they received a settlement offer from the town, stop growing marijuana, and buy 2 vehicles for the local police department. This is getting out of damn control. That is bribery, that is exploitation, that is criminal conspiracy, and they are so damn comfortable that they are willing to put it in writing. You gotta think about this, they are out of control. They know they are untouchable. This is what happens when you mix all of this power and corruption and then the protection thereof in one place, in one industry. You get shakedown just like this. Now remember, I just read the stats to you. So they are seizing roughly 1,000 cars that should not even be seized based on the forfeiture rules, right? You know how many of those they have went to, those people they went to and said, well, listen, we'll give your car back even though we should not have seized it anyway. We'll give your car back. You go ahead and buy us a couple of cars, donate some money here, give us a perk there. It's corruption, which means corruption begets corruption. This is not the only line of corruption in that department. This is just one that has been exposed. Adrian, how in the hell are they getting away with this?
Well, they're getting away with it because they're part of law enforcement and the law is not being enforced. It is being exploited in these individuals as well. And the thing is, civil asset forfeiture laws, they are problematic to begin with because while they are in place, if there is criminal activity and there is a fear that any kind of gains from that criminal activity is what funded maybe the money, the cars or whatnot, which does make sense in certain instances, the vast majority of the time in which it's used, it's abused, such as in this situation. For example, in California, there's significant incentive for civil forfeiture by law enforcement. What we know is 76% of forfeiture proceeds, they go to law enforcement, including prosecutors. And so it is just a form of corruption, really, if they know that they can continue to fill their coffers and all they have to do is pick up your things and say, hey, I think this is possibly associated with something criminal. And then they can hold your money and they get to put it into their pockets and have access to it. And we definitely know what law enforcement uses a lot of those funds for, as we're seeing our militarized state. The fact is that this is exploiting the people and taking advantage of the people. But of course, we know it's not happening to the 1%ers. It's happening to the rest of us.
That's right. And it's also not happening in affluent communities.
Correct.
I got to dig a little deeper here because I'm going back to constitutional law for a second, right? So my professor would say, listen, in order for somebody to take away your life, your liberty, and even property,
correct,
they have to engage in a due process mandate. This seems to violate the very tenet of that due process requirement. What's the workaround here in the law?
Oh, well, they've completely worked around it by virtue of the fact that in some instances, because I know that Michigan, I think in 2021 joined I think maybe 15 other states that require it essentially be involved in some kind of criminal activity. So they put it in that arena that will require that that constitutional law is respected and afforded, where we have the Fourth Amendment right to search and seizure and making sure that all of the protocols are followed, which hopefully will actually be done, but police always have a workaround. But in other instances where it's strictly in that civil arena, then it becomes due process at a very much lower level. Yeah. Where there's a way you can paper people to death, and when you're holding assets for that long, nobody's gonna pay you interest on not being able to have your car available to you. What if you continue, you're probably paying insurance on it still, even a note on it, and you don't have access to it. So, your hands are tied, and what do you end up doing? You end up conceding to law enforcement, and what are you gonna do? Try to get them prosecuted for it when the prosecutors are also being able to take a percentage of the forfeiture? It's just, this is corruption at its finest.
Such a damn racket.